Welcome back, Moto V loggers and Moto V loggerettes. Pros and cons, if you will. At least the first impressions of pros and cons of the Sena Momentum Pro helmet. There's a chance that if it's audio, if I'm speaking in my inside voice quiet enough, this is actually audio coming from the helmet. And this is video coming from the helmet. So the first pro is that the obvious for this helmet, and the main reason people want to buy this helmet is because it can do video and audio at the same time, all integrated into one nice little package. Another pro is the weight. It's not too heavy for an all-in-one package. I'd say it weighs very similar to my Shoei with my GoPro mounted to it. Very acceptable. Another pro is the visibility. Mark Ryder actually suggested that I do pros and cons for this helmet. Thank you, Mark Ryder. Hopefully you find this interesting and useful. But another pro is that the visibility is pretty good, pretty decent. You can see not bad to the left and right for what it is. I could see. I don't have to turn. I turn a little bit more than my Shoei GT Air 1, but not a lot. It's acceptable. It's good. It's good. It's both acceptable for the visibility. And another pro is that it does have a link for doing Bluetooth communication with other Senas. I actually did it with Timothy Long. Thanks for the ride last week, Timothy. That was fun. Hope we can do it again sometime. And we got to do some Bluetooth Sena communication. And a cool thing with doing Bluetooth as opposed to a phone call is like we're in some sketchy reception areas off the Marsh Creek Road. Over there, it's like there's some pretty spotty cell phone coverage, and I don't know if we have the same plan, but when we're on a Bluetooth Comlink radio, we're on the same plan, and that's cool. That worked out really nice. So that's another pro. Another pro is the size card it can accept. It can accept up to it's advertised as a 64 gig memory card, but right now I'm rocking a 128, so plenty of memory to outlast the battery. We'll get to the battery life in a moment. Another pro, actually we'll bring up part of the battery life discussion now, is the talk time on the actual Sena Bluetooth communicator. So talk time between the camera and the Sena communicator, that thing that actually does your Bluetooth phone communications, has different talk times. And the talk time from the Sena communicator, it's up to 20 hours. But I used it on a ride last week, and it lasted at least 5 or 6, and could keep going, and that's plenty long. I bet it could have went 10. I think it did go 10 because I rode it in 2 separate rides without charging it, and I got at least 10 plus hours, which is nice. But that's on the communicator, not the camera. We'll get to that in a moment. Wind is just going today, man. It's going. Another pro on this Sena helmet, it's pretty easy to pick up phone calls. You can pretty much say anything you want, which is pretty funny. So if a call comes in, I just start saying hello, hello, and it picked up. I thought maybe you'd have to say pick up or hello Sena, pick up, but it just looks for any word, and you can find that also in the manual. It explains that a little bit, so that's cool. That's a pro. Easy to pick up phone calls. Now for the cons, at least the first initial cons. Same with the pros before. Those are first initial pros. We might find more pros later, but those are the main ones I could think of. So now on to the cons. The color you'll notice on this ride, it's a little bit washed out. The color is like, another way of saying it, it feels a little faded. Another con is the voice commands, other than for picking up the phone, are kind of like very limited. There's not very many voice commands that you can do. And when I mean limited, I only saw like maybe 15 or 20, whereas my Ardo PackTalk Slim has over 50 or 60 commands or more. Another con is, and you'll notice it, you may notice it in this video if there's some audio I just gotta keep because it's something important that I said, is if I start talking loudly, like, hey, how's it going? What's up, guys? That's my normal voice. I mean, not that kind of tone, but like the volume level. Can do it one more time. Like, hey, welcome back, everybody. Another Scooter Wolf and another Moto Vlogger from motovlog.com that I met. Oh, I mean, he subscribes there. And he's got a nice YouTube channel. You should go check it out, Scooter Wolf. But he talks about attack words, and I like that term. That's a cool term where, like, you know, where he speaks loudly, like, for sure, like, this helmet with attack words would just, like, be clipping all over the place. But I'm trying to keep my inside voice so I can share this with you guys later. I'm actually going to hit it right. I'm going to wait. I don't want to get run over. Let's go to the right. Aw, yeah. Another pro, the volume can go very loud, like plenty loud, like makes it easy to hear. It's very easy to hear people on your Bluetooth communicator or music. Like the music, like at loud volume, gets muddy, but it's loud, so you can hear it. Whereas I know some sets, like the PackTalk Slim without the JBL, is kind of like the volume's kind of low in that set. Anyhow, another con for the Sena Momentum Pro, the Sena 20 series or 20S series, it doesn't support that dynamic mesh communication. And I'm sorry, I might be mixing these words up. It's the like dynamic mesh communication system equivalent for Sena. It doesn't support it. I was trying with Timothy Long to see if we can get it on the mesh network, which is a better range communication instead of Bluetooth, and we couldn't get it to go. And I was looking through the manual, and this one just doesn't support it. So it would be nice to see if there's a Sena Momentum Pro 2 to support those technologies, and I have a higher grade Bluetooth communicator built in, whereas this one's the 20S, and Sena's already up to the 50, which supports many more Bluetooth communicator features. Unfortunately, another con for the helmet is the camera battery life. Not to be confused with the communicator battery life, which is awesome, but the camera battery only lasts like max 2 hours. And for a built-in helmet like this, I'd like to see, 4 or 5 hours, similar to the Jarvis. Jarvis had an amazing battery. I went at least 4 hours on the Jarvis before it needed to be charged. Another pro for this helmet is the sizing. It may run a little bit small, but it fits fine. I got an extra large, where I'm normally a large, but the helmet goes on and off fine. And they even have a size above extra large. They also have an XXL available, which I didn't need, which is cool. Whereas the Jarvis helmet, even their XXL is too small. Like, they gotta work on their sizing for at least the bigger heads. Another con for this helmet is this. I've mentioned this in unboxing, but it's the visor. There's not really any locking positions. You can't just like open it up to like a lock and like leave it open to allow a little air. It's either pretty much open or closed, and it's become more exaggerated open or closed. Before, when it was brand new, it kind of stuck because it was new, so like you had to kind of move it. But oh, am I picking up my voice? I gotta bring my voice down a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty much just open or closed. There's not like a middle ground position. going for it. Another con is the position of the visor's opening mechanism. It's right in the middle, which is just so weird, especially if you're trying to open it at speed to let a little air in. It's just weird grabbing for the middle part here. I like it on the left. I like a little, like on the left, or yeah, on the left side. Just feels a little more natural to me. It's like what I'm used to for the visor. Another pro, the double G fastener for your helmet. It's what I'm used to, so I like seeing that. It's also got the button to it's not like flapping in the wind. Another pro for the helmet is the internal padding is pretty comfortable, and it's easy to talk. Like I don't feel like my cheeks are being, constrained of blood flow, and the helmet's not too bad to take on and off. And actually, after having it for a couple weeks now, it's been easier to take off. I remember when I first got it, it was tough. A little bit tough, not that bad. I shouldn't complain. It was just a little bit tough. Now, like on and off, it's like no problem. It does run a size small though, so if you're large, go extra large. Just tour de Brentwood, tour de Brentwood. Another con is like if you're speaking really loudly, like, welcome back everyone to another YBGuy video, you'll notice that the video clips. So clipping video with attack words is a little frustrating, but if you get used to speaking in your inside voices, it's not so bad. You can get usable audio out of this. Once in a while I notice, like with a lot of external noise like there is now, and if you can still manage to talk in your inside voice, like you don't need to hear yourself, you just kind of think about yourself, you can actually get some pretty usable audio. Like right now it's pretty loud, it's really windy right now, you'll see the trees going back and forth and everything, but if you can hear me, that's a pretty good win. That's a pro for the Sena Momentum Pro, like an all-in-one helmet. Like, it performs pretty well in that sense of being able to hear me while a lot of outside environmental noises are continuing to present themselves, at least to my own naked ears. Hope Big Al doesn't get me for that one. Big Al, the YouTube algorithm. That's what I call them. Another con for the helmet is you can't plug in a battery backpack or battery reservoir to the helmet while you're using it for the extra juice. If you plug something into the helmet, it will turn off the helmet and you will stop recording and it'll start charging, which is understandable. I guess they just don't want your helmet charging while you're recording. It might heat up the helmet, or it's just probably not a good idea to have so many extraneous cables hanging out of the helmet. So that seems like a safety feature that Sena has built in. So no hacking it to have extended run times by plugging in a battery reservoir to the charging port of the helmet. Another con is it's a little bit tricky to charge the helmet because the rubber stopper gets in the way a little bit. Whoa. Anyhow, another con of the Sena Momentum Pro helmet is the no built-in visor. I love the built-in visors of my built-in Shoei GT Air helmets. I guess maybe it was tough to build it because of how the camera is mounted on top. They just couldn't figure out how to fit it in, but I'm sure on version 2 that'd be a nice feature to have. So yeah, no built-in visor, that's a bummer. Would like to see that on a second iteration of this helmet. putting glasses on, I have some very small glasses. I'll keep that as a neutral. It's not really a pro you can fit glasses in or a con, because it really depends on you. I'm sure some people will see it as, oh, it's easy to fit your glasses in because you have really slim glasses, or it's a, you know, it's a con because you can't get your glasses in. But I'm able to get a couple different pairs of glasses into this helmet if a long trip with sun exposure. But anyhow, that's kind of my list of pros and cons initially from this helmet. It is fun to play with. I like trying to figure out ways to use it better and not just give up on it, because I know like these types of things are like, I commend like Sena for, you know, trying to make an all-in-one helmet. It's tough to do. You see all these prototypes, but you don't see too many helmets actually come to market. So yeah, thanks Sena for making it. I've been having fun like messing around with it. I'll continue to mess around with it. Oh, it's gonna be fun. But yeah, thanks again. And hey, thanks everybody for watching. This has been another YBG video. And I might have used some attack words there, so there might be some clipping. This has been some pros and cons of the Sena Momentum Pro helmet. And I hope to see you guys on another YBG video sometime soon. Peace out.